What's up, dudes and dudes to the internet? My name's Scythe and we are back again for some more Diablo 3. And we're in the Arreat crater, level 1. A very beautiful, fiery, amazing place. And these guys are gonna be our first victims. Blah, blah, blah. How y'all doing today, everybody? I hope you're doing as fantastically as I am. We got to level 50. I would very much appreciate, before we get started today, folks, if you would hit the like button for me. It helps me out more than you know, and thank you so much if you do. We'll check out our spells in a momento, in 2 seconds, as soon as we get rid of all these dumb little spiderlings. Hee hee. Good, they're all dead. So we got an explosive blast, release an enormous blast. Oh. Which, blast damage turns into cold. Oh, and then we got a new passive, which is Dominance. Killing an enemy grants a shield that absorbs 2% of your life in damage for 3 seconds. This effect can stack up to 10 times. That's not bad, but that's okay, because we don't... Ooh, hello, random fire book. It's a diary, because we're trying to... Like, the boss of this place really wants us to be his boyfriend, and we'll have none of that, because he's ugly and weird. Don't actually love based on looks, though, folks. Oh, too deep for me. The conversations that we have only here at Scythe.com. Scytheplays.com. That's my panic noise. Oh, man. But yeah, suddenly, oh, those worms are cool. Suddenly there was just a whole bunch of explosives around us, and it was like, oh, what? We got a boogie, and I pressed like every button except for the teleport. But yeah, so potentially... Oh, great. Oh, no! And the treasure goblin found us already, too. Like, we saw him. Get him, quick! Did we get him? No, we didn't. Yes, there we go. Okay. Whoa, doggy. And we had enough time left over to kill those stupid enemies, too. Oh, yeah. That's good. But yeah, so as I was saying, folks, we're kind of getting to the point where this act is kind of almost done. It's got potential to be done very quickly. Because Act 3, while it still is a pretty long act, the reason that I would say it's kind of one of the ones that feels like a shorter act is because the player, by this time, kind of is starting to really understand, like, how to play the game, myself included, because, you know, I was rusty when we first started, and now I'm starting to get the hang of it and getting a little bit quicker with the controls, kind of figuring out a build that I want, etc., etc. And because of that, you start progressing through the game a lot faster. And I think that's one of the reasons that Act 3, although the same length, if not more, than any of the other acts, ends up going by, or seemingly going by, very quickly. Just because, you know, because we're moving. We're killing things super duper quick. We've got most of our abilities. We kind of understand the concept of the game. You know, and it just... What can I say? Let's use our Archon, because I don't care. It's a beautiful spell, and I love it. Oh, yeah! So, we can potentially end up getting through this act fairly quickly, is all I'm saying. But it depends whether or not we end up generating, like we got here. We actually got very lucky and ended up generating the proper level. Now, these areas are actually some of the worst. Because, as far as, like, with speedrunning specifically, Spider Lady, go away. These areas are some of the worst because it's kind of like a maze, you know? But anyway, Act 4 is definitely one of the shortest ones. Like, there's only, like, it's like, you go into Act 4, there's a couple bosses, there's one area that takes a little bit of time, and then you're pretty much already done. And from what I've heard, because I've been talking to a bunch of people, and Mark was telling me as well, just kind of while we're on the subject, he told me this a while ago, how Act 5... is actually very much like a little bit longer than Act 3 and kind of more like a normal act, I guess. That's the thing too, is I could be crazy, everybody. Maybe Act 3 secretly is shorter, and it just is tricking me, and it feels shorter. You know, I'm kind of describing it as it feels shorter, but it could actually just be shorter. But anyways, who cares? Now, you see right there, we ended up getting very, very lucky and generating the next floor very, very quickly. Because otherwise, we could have ended up going around the entire level before we ended up seeing the staircase down. Right? So that's kind of what I mean. Like, you can see, like, there's the staircase right down there. So we actually have to go all the way around on this one. So we're just gonna use our arcane ability just so that we can kind of speed through this area, because you can see, like, there's not really that much as far as combat is concerned. I mean, granted, there is, like, eventually, yes, treasure goblin again. That's some nice generation. Yes, give me all the good items. He didn't end up generating any Nothing special. And for single enemies like that, I honestly don't care. I'm not gonna stop for them. We're getting lots of champions though, like wow. Not to mention that was our second treasure goblin in this area, which is pretty insane. Ooh, that's funny. So our slow time barrier, their tongues, that's a lick-a-tongue dudes, their tongues actually must count as a projectile. So it's actually slowing it down when it goes in to our, like, slow barrier. That's hilarious. Yeah, look at this. We got an armor boss already. That's insane. So many bad guys. So little time. JK, there's plenty of time. Oh, goodness. Okay, we're getting into badness now. We gotta watch out for those harpy enemies. Harpies. They were actually enemies from Diablo 1, and some of the most annoying in the game, because in Diablo 1, your character, he didn't really run. I'll say that. He was very, very slow, and those harpy enemies were very, very smart, even for back in the day with this game, because they would actually shoot the projectiles, and as soon as you would chase after them, you had the same movement speed that they did, so they would kind of just dip, 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 and you would follow them to the ends of the earth, hopefully getting them in a corner. And then another thing that was a big factor in Diablo 1 was missing. You could miss with your attacks. And yeah, so it would be like swing, swing, miss, 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 miss. I actually have a Diablo 1 series that I did with my brother, which should still be on the channel if you're interested. But I'm just saying, because I know that there's lots of people that went into Diablo 3 who actually didn't end up playing the first two, which they're still amazing games, and I would highly recommend them. Very different to this one, though, a little bit more. Why is this guy not dying? A little bit more, I guess I could say hardcore? Like, they're kind of a more hardcore RPG? Definitely a lot harder. I mean, granted, like, I haven't played up to, like, the higher torment levels or anything like that, so I don't know how difficult those areas are. Maybe they'll be as difficult as Diablo 2 ended up being, but yeah, Diablo 2 was definitely one of the most difficult out of the games. And that's the thing, too, is I don't know, like, I'm basing my experience with this game and its difficulty based on, like, before there was torment levels and stuff like that, right? So rip me. I'm inexperienced and I don't know and I can't say nothing. Yeah, see, so now we're starting to get that bad generation I was talking about, where we can end up going in circles. I mean, granted, that chick, that spider chick keeps talking to us, so I'm naturally assuming... Oh. Okay. I didn't even know that we were already on the right level to actually find you, you crazy weird lady, but that's okay, cool. Anyways, come back. Where are you going? Where are you going, crazy spider? Come back! I'll use my Archon laser abilities of death! I think she's invincible. Yeah, I think she's invincible right now. Because we're supposed to deal with some of her underlings. Which, whatever. Defeat the heart of darkness. Blah. Alright. Yeah, that's right. That's why it confused me. I forgot that she actually comes down to fight you for a little bit. Before, yeah, before you end up, getting out of here and, doing, like, the actual boss fight with her. Okay, those guys died really weird. Maybe this is the area? No, that's just level 2, GG. Yeah, I don't know why, I completely forgot that we end up actually fighting her at that point. Huh. So I'm actually gonna hop back to town here real quick, folks. Even though I saw a champion mob right there. And let's actually check and see. That's a lot of gear. So you know what? I'm actually gonna go through this gear myself off camera here. And I'll let you all know and see if we end up finding anything better. Nope, nothing spectacular, but we did end up getting this sucker right here, which has 61 more experience, which, hey, I'm always down for more experience, right? So anyways, kind of messed up a little bit on my timer here. I think we've been at about 10 minutes so far, so I'll kind of just consider that to be our time right now. I don't know how far we'll be able to get, actually. This is actually like an hour later, everybody, because I kind of took a little bit of a break, you know, got some food in me and everything like that, and, well, either way. So, I think there still is. I don't know how many floors there still is to this place before we end up actually getting, to the boss fight, or whether or not we'll even get to do it today, you know? We're leveling up real quick, though. Man alive. Like, did we even check our other abilities? We probably already did, but whew, we've been going quick. Spectral Blade got Barrier Blades, gaining a protective shield. For 3 seconds, it absorbs 4% of your life in damage. Okay, that's not bad. Then we also got Frost Nova's got Bone Chill, the final rune. Enemies take more damage while frozen or chilled by Frost Nova. Is that more ice damage? No, just 33 more damage in general. Okay. And we can't actually look at this new ability from that menu. Mirror image. There we go. Increase the duration and life of your mirror images. Okay. Whatever. That's okay. We don't really need to go for something like that. Hello, creatures. It seems that, you know, they do a pretty good job where a lot of the abilities kind of might feel like they're repeating. You know, like there seems to be a rune for almost all of them where it makes it last longer, you know? And that might seem a bit lazy, but the reason why it's cool and makes sense and it's good that they have it, I think, is because say we were using mirror image instead of teleport, you know? We're gonna want one that ends up doing the same effect as one of the other spells, you know, because you know, it's kind of like you're supposed to only be using, that is to say, unless you go to elective mode, use like 1 force spell, 2 defensive, and 1 mastery. At least I think that's how it defaults, right? Usually they end up having the 2 defense spells. And so that's kind of why, like, that's why they would have something like that. Is this a dead end? Yeah, it is. Okay, well, let's get out of here. At least we've got our Archon again, so now we can start crossing and making some distance. It's probably just this way right here, isn't it? Yeah, I bet you it is. Where do you think you're going, huh? Skype call from that weird freak. Hang up the phone on him. Give me all your items. Oh my goodness, delicious. I don't know what those weird things are. I think that's a shaman. Like a goat shaman or something. Oh, GG. We got lucky again. Just generated it straight up. Okay. Now, yeah, see, so now we're kind of doing the same thing that we just did, aren't we? Is the boss fight in here? I heard a treasure gobbles. I heard a treasure gobbles. We gotta be careful. Because I want to get these champions out of the way so we don't have to deal with them. I heard him. Oh, great. Well, he's right here. And we've got an arcane thing that's going to be attacking us in our face in 2 seconds. Give me all the items. Give me all the items. See you later. Yeah, so is the heart down here, or is this just another, like, whole section where we're going to have to do all this stuff? We might end up, I forget. I think that in this chapter, we actually just verse, like, I think it's actually really, really quick. Okay, he just randomly decided to go to another dimension. And evidently doesn't know how to create a proper teleportation spell because he just exploded. Oh, great. Went the wrong way. But yeah, I don't know whether or not, like, is this a chapter where we've got the spider boss, and then I think right after is the act boss. I'm pretty sure. So if that's the case, we may... Well, you know what, I was gonna say that we may end up rushing that and just going for both of the bosses, but depending on the time that we end up with, we might actually end today on the spider boss, and then have the next episode going into Act 4, also just contain, like, the boss itself, Azmodan, you know? Because... I think, yeah, Tower of the... Okay, so there is a couple levels to this thing. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so yeah, we'll probably... Oh, great, they have fear. It's such an annoying spell. Why do these guys get immune sometimes? I bet you it's resistance to, what the... Resistance to... whatever. Were those actual enemies that we'll end up coming across? It is. But yeah, so... Probably end up getting to the spider boss if we end up, if we're fast enough. And then we'll be able to call it a day, so it might be a little bit more overtime today, folks. Also, I'm not really too picky about, like, finishing every single one of these enemies, because these are all just side enemies. Yes, we could be killing them for experience, I know. But that's okay. You know, it doesn't really matter that much. We're doing pretty good on our X points right now. And we'll probably end up, like, just out of all of these champions and elites that we keep coming across, we'll probably end up getting to level 60 by the end once we end up getting to Diablo. Hopefully, anyways. Maybe we'll end up getting level 60 beforehand. I still haven't gotten the expansion. I'm actually waiting to see what comes first. Whether or not we end up getting to the expansion, or whether or not, like, getting through Act 4, or do we end up getting... Man, that's so cool, isn't it? Or do we end up getting to max level, and then I'll just do that. Yeah, so here's the boss. Okay, perfect. And we're gonna be perfectly on time as well, it seems. So I'm gonna save our arcane, because otherwise now we actually fight her and defeat her. Yes, we do. Excuse me, go away, I don't care. In-game cutscenes are boring. Oh, great, she's got chains that are on fire, just in case we couldn't escape the normal chains. Well, you're certainly really, really easy, aren't you? Dead! Okay. Well, I guess, yeah, we don't need to, go around killing a million enemies. I mean, granted, she is an easy boss, like, she's not supposed to be particularly powerful. So, yeah, you know what? I didn't expect her to be that quick. So, let's go kill Azmodan in today's episode, everybody. I didn't know that she was gonna be that quick. So, yeah, he's already right here, isn't he? No? Yes? Is he? Am I crazy and there's still, like, one last room? Yeah, okay, there is. Okay, well, then scratch that. You know what? Screw it. Let's just rush. That's how we'll do this. Let's just rush, because it's pointing us in the right direction. We can just go for it. Killing all these little trash mobs and stuff like that doesn't really matter too much. Like, we can still kill them, yeah, but that's okay. We can just get through here, because these enemies are gonna be pretty easy, and I'm hankering for some Act 4. Now, gathering all the enemies like this, probably should have just been doing this in the entire time. Oh great, it generated with invincibility. Except not really, because it's dead. Give me all that stuff. Where's the last one? I don't know if there is actually a last one. Man, the contrasting in here is insane. See, there we go. Because otherwise that could have taken us like 15 years to end up getting through that. So, Azmodan. Now, this is another boss. This is actually one of my favorites. Right up there but with Belial, actually. But different, because Belial was kind of like a stage boss, whereas this guy is kind of like he actually actively roams around and stuff like that. Not to mention, he's actually one of the cooler creature designs in the game. I really, really like him, you know? So, will we be able to defeat him as fast? I don't think so. Okay, we're defeating him pretty quickly. He's doing it. Look at his orb. It's slow-mo and it's coming straight from my face. It actually is turning mid-air too. Okay. Okay, we got to defeat him before his meteor even hit the ground. Now all of this kind of smoke that's coming around, or the darkness that's coming around as well, would end up giving us a little bit of trouble eventually. Unfortunately, sorry, I didn't end up going up high enough that we could actually see his death animation, but he actually like gets sucked into a black hole pretty much, and it's really, really cool. I like that guy a lot, but man alive, I didn't realize just how powerful we actually have been getting. That's okay, I don't care about that cutscene. Sorry, folks. I just don't. Now, yeah, now we just get out of here. That's already it. We're getting lots of experience, too. We're already actually about to level up as well. So, let us just talk to all these dudes, get everything all ready. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna have to organize all my inventory and stuff. So you know what? We're just gonna identify this, and is it any good? That's actually pretty good. That's a one-hander too. Ooh, that's not bad. Critical hits have a chance to spawn a health globe. This is more akin to, I would say it's something good for a barb, actually. It does have more damage, but not XP. But I'm gonna organize the rest of my inventory and stuff like that off camera before we end up getting into the next episode, and then we'll go into Act 4 and kind of have like the main. Well, I guess we'll just do the cutscene and stuff like that right now, just because it's very, very quick. It's just right here, so let's just get out of the way. Before we call it a day. There we go. So there's this big beautiful portal. We take this over into Act 4. Bada bing, bada boom. Another cutscene.
Adria has betrayed us completely, and Leah's soul is lost. Through her, Diablo has been reborn as the prime evil. All the powers of hell are his to command. The high heavens tremble, and the angels are helpless before Diablo's assault. Only I remain to set things right, and rid the world of Diablo's evil forever.
Plot twist, that chick that seemed suspicious the entire time in the game turned out to be the last boss, and Diablo's not nearly as cool as he was in all the other games because now he's all weird. I don't know why, it just doesn't really look right to me, you know? Like, there's just something about this last boss that just doesn't seem sinister to me. But, like, especially compared to the other versions of Diablo, which, if you've ever played Hearthstone or even the other Diablos, that's his actual look. But either way, thanks for watching, everybody. We're gonna call it here. Act 4 in the next episode. Sayonara and stay epic.